begin with Sarah and Ben. Sit down, have a coffee, and enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Trending Again. Today we're going to be talking a lot about D23 and some of the stuff to come out of that. I actually tried to record an episode last week as well, talking about Rings of Power and the MTV VMAs also. So I might go through a little bit of that too, just to add it in, but most of this is going to be D23 stuff. I might I'll quickly give my thoughts on Rings of Power, which is pretty similar to a lot of other actual reviewers out there. The first episode is so slow and very boring. I've been trying to watch this show as kind of its own world kind of thing. I don't think it feels like Lord of the Rings. But anyway, I'm watching it as a kind of own thing. It's just got the Lord of the Rings name slapped on it with characters from it. But I'm not watching this as kind of a prequel thing, and I don't think it's intended to be. At least it shouldn't be anyway. But I like the second episode a little bit more, and enjoyed the third episode even more than the second. But obviously, I'm also coming at this from a casual fan perspective. I have not read the books and don't know enough about the lore, so I'm probably going to enjoy it more than those kinds of people. So if you want like massive breakdowns of Rings of Power, I can suggest Night's Watch, I think they're called. They literally know all their stuff. I'm sure there's plenty of other YouTubers out there as well that really know the lore. If you want more breakdowns to compare it to the lore, or if you're more like me and just watching as a casual fan, then maybe you like to hear my thoughts. So anyway, that's kind of where I am at the moment on Rings of Power. I've also been watching House of the Dragon. I was actually not that hyped for the show, but anyway, I watched the first episode and I'm all in on House of Dragon. Just every episode's been so good, so good. Game of Thrones actually took me a little bit, was kind of the last couple of episodes of Game of Thrones where I really got into it of the first season. So it actually took me nearly the whole season to really get hooked. But so we'll see. So we're on the third episode of Rings of Power, so I believe that's 5 more episodes to go for that series. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. I get another issue for me is Galadriel. Her arc is not going to make any sense. That's why I think watching this as kind of its own thing is definitely probably the best way to watch it, because literally if you're watching this as a prequel, it's her story arc is going to make absolutely no sense whatsoever. But anyway, that is the liberties that Amazon chose to take. So anyway, we'll see where this series goes. What else was it? The Music Video Awards. So Panic at the Disco, their performance of Don't Let the Lights Go Out made me fall in love with that song straight away. I had never heard it until I watched it on the VMAs, and I was like, I've been rocking that song on Spotify so much. I absolutely love that song so much. Another thing that stood out to me was Red Hot Chili Peppers, Black Summer, and their song had some lines in it that just caught me Guard with Platypus Are Few, The Secret Life of Rue. So I just thought it was quite funny, just to me being Aussie. But the song is about current events basically. And then they perform Can't Stop straight after that, one of their all-time classic songs. Nicki Minaj won the Michael Jackson Vanguard Award for those that didn't watch it. So she put on a hell of a performance, and I found myself rocking out to a lot of her classic songs. And Taylor Swift won Video of the Year for her song All Too Well, which was basically a song from one of her previous albums which she re-recorded, and in order to obtain getting the royalties from her songs. So and then also announced that she's got a new album on the way in October. So I'm excited for that. I like me a bit of the old Tay Swift. I'm kind of just rushing through last week's episode so I can get straight to all the current news. Johnny Depp, if you've been living under a rock, he also made an appearance as the Moon Man. Basically making jokes that he can be hired for bar mitzvahs, birthdays, whatever he needs the cash. Another thing that happened was the Bad Bunny kiss with one of his backup dancers, which didn't impress me that much because Adam Lambert already did it. You're a bit late to the party, in my opinion. So that's already been done as far as I'm concerned. Lizzo told the audience she doesn't clap back at her haters because she keeps on winning. But we're going to get into some more Lizzo stuff actually with some Disney news. So anyway, that's kind of, and then the other thing I kind of talked about, but I'm going to skip that now, is Britney Spears kind of firing back at her son. So, but yeah, I'm going to skip that now because that was last week's news as far as I'm concerned. So, but I kind of want to give my few thoughts on those things. Also, we've had Olivia Newton-John pass away. Grease being one of my favorite films, musical films of all time, closely followed by The Greatest Showman. And yeah, so they're probably like my top two musicals. Not that she's part of Greatest Showman, but yeah, Grease being my number one all-time favorite musical. So that was quite the loss. You've also had John Farnham, another great Australian singer, end up going into surgery for a throat cancer, I believe, or something along those lines. So I think last I read, he was in ICU. I'm not too sure about currently. I can probably actually take a quick gander at that. And then obviously also, if you've been living under a rock, we've just recently had Queen Elizabeth pass away as well. So obviously that's been all over the media, and yeah, which is very sad. Ever since I've been born, she's always been that older lady, but she's very inspiring, and I'd love to look into more of her life, and the conspiracy theories could be really fun too, but obviously we're not going to do that this episode. But that could be like a fun episode to go through if you'd be interested in that sort of thing. Let me know. I'm just looking up this John Farnham news. Sad update on, oh no, that's 2 weeks ago, so there's nothing really recent from what I can see. Well. Okay, let's move on from that. They haven't really really said anything more. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into D23 then, shall we? And here we. That was 2 weeks ago. He woke up responding well to treatment. Wife Jill says. Okay, that was 2 weeks ago. Alrighty. Let's get into this D23 stuff. Alright, so a whole bunch of trailers have dropped from D23. They obviously had their gaming, but I want to save their gaming stuff for Skill Point Allocated, which is the gaming podcast that I launched probably a few weeks ago, but have not been making episodes, so hopefully I'll now be hitting out episodes of both Trending Again and Skill Point Allocated. I really want to try and knock them out every week, so we'll see how we go. All right, let's get into these trailers and announcements. So on the first day of D23 2022, Disney brought its A game with several first looks, announcements and clips from its upcoming animated and live action movies. The panel, which was held on Friday, included presentations ranging from Disney's slate of live action remakes and sequels to Pixar's new movies, and even a brand new 2023 film from Disney Animation Studios. To help you keep track of all the announcements and trailers, here's a list of all the best stuff from the D23 presentation. So they released a Hocus Pocus 2 trailer, which I watched obviously before this, and I quite liked the trailer. So we'll have to see. I was really hoping that our zombie friend, I can't remember his name right now, but would be in it, and sure enough he is, so I'm excited. And then obviously we have the 3 original actresses reprising their roles. This sequel was a long time in the making, but the latest trailer brings back the series trio of witches for more trouble and magic ahead of its movies September 30 release date on Disney Plus. So looking forward to that. Nearly 15 years after, they also dropped Disenchanted. So we'll keep reading this article. Nearly 15 years after the release of the original movie, Gazelle. Is it Gazelle or Giselle? It might be Giselle. Who is played by Amy Adams, Disney's live-action real-world princess, is back for a sequel of Disenchanted. The movie catches up with the enchanted heroine, who now has a baby but isn't exactly living a fairy tale life anymore, leading her to making an ill-fated wish. The trailer shows off some singing and dancing, as well as Maya Rudolph as the movie's villain. They then also revealed a poster for Peter Pan and Wendy, which is coming to Disney Plus in 2023. They also announced the Lion King prequel is coming from Barry Jenkins, the Academy Award nominated director of Moonlight. While that's pretty exciting on its own, Disney didn't release much new information to the public during D23, except that Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen will return as Timon and Pumbaa for the prequel. And that is called The Lion King Mufasa. So obviously going to be about Mufasa being a kid, or you know, they may surprise us that he's adult, but I feel like he's going to be like Simba when he was little, and then him growing into being the king as we know him in The Lion King. Disney finally gave us the Halle Bailey's live action Ariel for The Little Mermaid. So I also watched this trailer, and I'm not really more hyped for it. I did go check out Halle's music. I think she's in a duo. It's Halle and Haley, I believe. So as soon as she kind of got cast, I went and I'm like, I need to hear her voice. So I went and listened, and I'm like, okay, cool. Got a bit of hope for this movie. So we'll see where it goes. But something that interested me was I decided to go and watch some reactions to the Little Mermaid teaser trailer. Not that there's much to react to in it from my point of view. You see a little bit of ocean, a little bit of fish, a little bit of turtles, ending on Halle singing part of that world. And so you don't really see too much to get you super hyped. I'm sure some people are way more hyped than I am, but I think it looks good from the little that we get to see. But what I seen at one of the ends of the reaction videos was that Lizzo actually auditioned or wanted to play the role of Ursula, and I was like, that would have been so good. Anyway, Melissa McCarthy, I believe, is playing Ursula, so we'll have to wait and see. She's not really my favorite actress. I think Lizzo would have been a better choice from my point of view, but we haven't seen anything from Melissa yet, so we'll have to wait and see, I guess, in the next trailer. Hopefully we get a little bit of Melissa McCarthy's Ursula to kind of compare, because Lizzo did an audition or recorded a video of her playing Ursula in on Instagram. So I went and literally watched that as well before the video, and I'm like, this could have been a very big missed opportunity for Disney. So, well, like I said, we'll have to see. We haven't seen Melissa McCarthy's version of Ursula yet, so we'll save that judgment for when it comes out. But I kind of liked what Lizzo did in that little video she recorded. So anyway, that is what it is. Also getting released was another poster for Elemental. The article goes on to say we got a few more details on Pixar's upcoming movie Elemental, which will bring the elements to life as it follows a girl made of fire named Ember and a boy made of water named Wade, who fall in love despite their differences and the impossibility of being together. The movie will star Leah Lewis's Ember and, I'm going to butcher this name, I'm sure, Mamadou Athie as Wade, and is set to come to theatres on June 16, 2023. They also released a poster for Elio. Pixar announced a brand new movie called Elio, which will follow a young outcast who suddenly becomes Earth's intergalactic ambassador. America Ferrera will play Elio's mother in the Aliens Come to Earth comedy. Elio is set to arrive in spring 2024, so that is quite the ways away. They also announced Inside Out 2, which I absolutely adored the first Inside Out. Such a fun movie and emotional movie. Probably one of their best movies in recent years. So, anyway, we'll continue reading this article. Riley and her many complicated emotions are back for a sequel to one of Pixar's most beloved movies of the last decade. Inside Out 2 picks Riley's story back up in her teenage years and brings back Amy Poehler as Joy, but Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling may not return to the cast, according to some reports. Either way, the movie is directed by Kelsey Mann and will be released in summer 2024. Hopefully the original voice actors return, but I'm sure they'll find someone to fill the role if that is not the case. Someone good to fill the role if that is not the case. I'm also going to completely destroy this name as well for another new movie called Awaju. I'm not sure. They've got like little symbols above, and that's supposed to change the way the word's pronounced, I'm sure. So anyway, Awaju is a new collaborative movie between Disney Animation and Pan-African Animation Studio Kugali that takes place in a fictional version of Lagos, Nigeria. The movie is set to arrive on Disney Plus sometime in 2023, so that looks interesting. Well, another movie we'll have to wait and see. And then they also released Stranger World, is Disney Animation's upcoming intergalactic adventure that follows a dysfunctional family as they attempt to explore hostile alien planets. The movie is heading to theaters later this year on November 23. Then you've got Wish. A new movie from Disney Animation Studio Wish will follow a young girl named Asha who wishes on a star and gets a more direct answer than she bargained for when a troublemaking star comes down from the sky to join her. The movie will feature new songs from Julia Michaels as well as a new animation style for Disney that combines watercolor and CG animation, which is set to release in November 2023. And that looks like pretty much it for this article. Anyway, I also recently watched the new Pinocchio movie on Disney Plus. I did happen to like it. They did obviously make some changes to the story, so I won't spoil it if you haven't watched it yet. I suggest if you have Disney Plus, definitely check it out. I enjoyed it. I think it's pretty close to the original. They did take some liberties with the story, but I have no problem with their changes. As Pinocchio, I'm pretty sure is public domain. There's been that many versions of the movie. I don't mind a bit of change. There's always the original. You can always go back to the animated version if you prefer that. It's been quite a while since I've actually watched the original animated movie, so I might have to go back and watch that to really compare. But yeah, I got enough enjoyment out of the movie. Anyway, is it amazing? No, not necessarily, but like I said, I did enjoy the movie. It held my attention, so that's something in itself, especially lately, because sometimes you get distracted by your phone or whatever. So if a movie can hold my attention, that is definitely a plus. So I just was checking if public domain. The story has been a public domain work in the US since 1940. So there you go. Which means literally any studio can make whatever they want from that story of Pinocchio. Same as like Jack and the Beanstalk and King Arthur and all that sort of stuff. That's why we get so many versions of those movies. Robin Hood, you name it. We're going to get like, public domain. Of course, that it's just the way it is, because I'm pretty sure they're literally making a Robin Hood, but with a Y, female version of Robin Hood, set in modern times, I'm pretty sure as well. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. But like I said, it's a story that's been around forever and a day, and studios are obviously definitely going to take chances on well-known properties. So, but I've got no problem with changing storylines and things like that. So, like I said, there's always your favorite version of it, whether it be the Disney animated version or I think there's a new one with Del Toro made a version. I haven't watched that yet, but I'll definitely check it out. So, but there's been numerous versions of Pinocchio, Robin Hood. I'm sure there's a version you love. So yeah. Anyway, is there anything else I really wanted to talk about? Oh, Thor is also on there, but I haven't made it right through that movie yet. Started watching it too late, fell asleep. But the little bit that I have seen, pretty funny. And I also went and watched Dragon Ball Superhero over the weekend and really enjoyed that film too. Definitely felt nostalgic, for sure. The same as kind of Broly captured that nostalgia with some cool changes. So yeah, I absolutely loved watching it, even though there was only like me and some other random dude in the theater. But yeah, I completely enjoyed it. So if you love Dragon Ball, obviously, and haven't seen it yet, definitely go check it out, or check it out on Crunchyroll. I'm sure it won't be long until it's out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Not super long, but definitely something. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below or on our Facebook page, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Until then, bye-bye.
Well, what a groovy episode that was. Today was really interesting, folks. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe, and don't forget, stay groovy.